Hey guys, welcome to the Movie Champs review episode for the Avengers Infinity War. My name's Zakary Cheatham. With me I have...
EJ Flemming.
Alright guys, so this is our warning here. Spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning.
This is going to be all spoilers for the Avengers Infinity War movie. If you don't want to have this movie spoiled for you, then leave now. But if you've already watched the movie and you want to chat with us, make sure you hit us up in the comments. We'll be monitoring the comments, and we want to hear your thoughts and hear your ideas, because this is going to be, we're going to do a lot of theories that we think happen, just things like that. We're going to be discussing this movie heavily.
The quote Call of Duty, weapons free in the comment section. Weapons free.
All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get this review started.
All right.
So you go ahead and start this thing.
The way this movie opened with the aftermath of Ragnarok, and the way they did it with like them setting out a radio transmission out to any ships in the area was like very made you feel isolated in a way, like how they would have felt in this situation.
Yes,
it was very well done, and I also enjoyed the redemption arc they gave Loki.
Yeah,
I thought it was
that was nice. They let him
gave
die
him
with dignity.
They gave him a hero's death after everything he's done. Because the way it was setting up, you almost seemed like, well, here comes Loki looking out for his best interests again. But then you see him put that dagger in his hand. I'm like,
yeah. When I saw that happen, I was like, no way, it's not gonna happen right now. And then, but then whenever I heard him said something about what did he said something about death or dying. What was it? Do you remember? He said something about death or dying or something, and then Thanos he said, it's funny that you use that word, because that's exactly what he was going to die.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the word was. It had to do with dying. Or
it had something to do with being loyal to the death or something like that.
Yes.
It has something along those lines, and then he crushed Loki's throat with his bare hands.
Yeah.
And it was a very...
Hang on, you are way tall. Okay, there we go. Now
it was a very brutal way to kill Loki, but it was a very fitting way for everything Loki has done. But at the end, he got redemption. So
yeah,
it was like Darth Vader in a way.
Yes,
like he died. Yes, he's dead, but he's not. But the Loki that died was not the same Loki that took over New York.
Yeah. So that was. Right out the gate, I said, "Oh, we're this is just gonna start happening now."
Even with Heimdall.
Yeah, I know.
But before we even got to that, before we even got to those scenes, I thought it was cool how Loki set him up only for the Hulk to hop in.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of a cool little callback to the first Avengers, where Tony told Loki that we have a Hulk.
Yeah. So what does what happened to Korg and Valkyrie and all them? Were they dead too?
We don't know.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people on that ship were dead. He saw that. But
yeah, but we just...
I didn't see anything about Korg or
well, he said he killed half of them.
Yeah, so that must mean everyone else got away somehow?
Yeah, he let half of them go randomly.
Dang.
Yeah.
So we don't know what happened to most of them then.
Yeah.
But I would assume that since we didn't see anything else from them, that would mean it.
Yeah, like they say, no...
But Thor was floating off in the middle of space, so...
But he's Thor, though, so...
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Thor's floating off in the middle of space, so whatever happened to the rest of them, he wouldn't have any clue. He wasn't looking for them.
Yeah, he was just out for vengeance.
Yeah, so... But that was...
That was just the opening of the movie before we even got to the title card.
Yeah, and then
we cut to Tony
down to Tony
and Pepper.
Yeah, so that one's still nothing there for me. For Pepper.
Can we talk about Doctor Strange and Wong trying to get lunch?
Yes,
that was hilarious. Dr. Wong doesn't keep money on him because he doesn't because he quote doesn't believe in it. And they said, let's tell him that the Doctor Strange was like, let me see if they believe that at the shop. He said, hold on. He started rifling in his pocket. He said, I got 200 rupees. I said, what does that get me? He said, like $1.50. I thought that was hilarious. It's like Wong they actually let Wong be a character in this one. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was nice. He's one of the only real support besides Pepler, like supporting character that from other movies that made it into this movie. There's a lot of supporting characters that they just couldn't get into. Well, no, what's it called? Black Panther got some some of his
The
supporting
Dora
characters in
Milaje is his bodyguard, so you have to have them.
Yeah.
And Shuri, his sister, so you gotta have her.
Yeah.
And M'Baku's the leader of his tribe, so you gotta have him. So it makes sense that they're there. Everyone who was there made sense that they were there.
Yeah. So I'm just curious about Ant-Man and Hawkeye, why they had to be left out.
Well, they also said that Hawkeye and Ant-Man were under house arrest. Oh. Which is collaborated with Ant-Man being picked up with an ankle monitor in the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer.
Right.
So we know Ant-Man's on house arrest.
Right. And
it looks like Hawkeye's the same way, but where is he at house arrest? Is he?
Well, somebody said something about them working on a deal. Or was that part of their deal as far as just
okay. That's part of the deal. They have to be under house arrest.
Okay.
Ant-Man will probably get out of house arrest if you think about it. Couple of pin particles shoot the ankle monitor. Guess what? The ankle monitor is at home.
Yeah.
Or he just grows it big enough for him to step his leg out of it.
Yeah.
Either way, he's coming out of the ankle monitor pretty quickly.
Yeah. Let's see. What was the very next scene after that? I don't want to go just scene by scene. I just want to go over the highlights, the best scenes.
Yeah, and then after that scene, Tony said there will be no more surprises. And as if on cue, Doctor Strange arrives and says, "Hey, I got a surprise for you." Yeah. We didn't exactly say that. That's pretty much how it happened.
Yeah. And then Bruce Banner he's like, "What do you mean we?" And then Bruce Banner comes out from behind him. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, Bruce Banner was like, come out terrified and like, Tony's like, "I've never seen Bruce scared. This must be serious."
Yeah. Man, those are some. But like I said, I still wasn't buying. I didn't like Pepper anymore in this movie, especially with her complaining to him while he was on the ship. Like,
well, you got to take into account that they are married now.
Yeah.
And he did kind of just leave without telling her.
Yeah.
And now he's in space and no way to get back home. So she has a right to be mad.
She got a right.
You just don't like her, but
I don't like her.
But she has a right to be mad in this instant. How would you like it if you were married to somebody and then they just went to space without telling you?
Yeah.
You'd be a little salty too. So I let Pepper have that one. But and then
oh man, the introduction to Spider-Man in this, well, not the introduction, but into this movie,
the way they introduced him into this movie was pretty funny. Like he's sitting on the bus and he feels the spiders and he looks out the window and then he taps his friend Ned and he said, "Make a distraction," and Ned said, "Aliens, we're gonna die," and then the bus freaks out and he opens the emergency exit and slips out the back of the bus. So I was like,
yeah, I died. That was great.
That was really funny.
Oh man. But what was I going to say? The interaction with him and Tony this whole movie was great. You can see that kind of father-like relationship that he has with.
And then the whole scene where he made him an Avenger was pretty funny. He said, "You're now an Avenger." And it's still like Spider-Man's trying to hold his
big deal for him.
He's trying to hold his composure, but at the same time he's trying not to freak out. Yeah, I thought that scene was pretty funny.
Especially shooting out Ebony Maw into space.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Oh man. But just.
And then when Thor met the Guardians.
Yes, that was. See, I seen a lot of people complaining about Star-Lord's just his insecurities with Thor being around. Like in the beginning, they said that wasn't something that Star-Lord would do, but I felt like it was.
That's exactly what Star-Lord would do.
Yes.
Because the way Gamora's fawning all over him, he's like, "But you with me."
In his world, he's pretty much like one of the very few human-esque characters, or at least a human god.
And he managed to luck up and get with Gamora. So now that this literal god showed up on this ship, he's kind of insecure.
Yes.
Have you not been paying attention to what Peter Quill's character is?
Yes.
He was upset that no one recognized him as Star-Lord. So it makes sense to this,
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I thought is like this is exactly what his reaction would be.
Yeah. Let me turn to you since you getting comfortable. I want to get comfortable. Yeah. There we go. There we are. Now comfortability on the movie for this evening. Yeah, but the interaction was great. He said, "This dude just landed on a window." "No, You're a dude.
Dude,
This is a man.
This is a man. Yeah, the jokes that they gave Drax in this movie were excellent.
They were hysterical. I enjoyed them a lot. The whole invisible scene.
Oh yes.
I move so slowly you can't see me. Look, we can see you, and he's like,
you could see Dave Bautista's comedic timing just improving every single movie.
Oh yeah, his comedic. And then I thought it was funny too when they were on Titan, they were trying to come up with a plan, and Manus and Drax was just in the background like, and he said, "This is what they always do." He's like, "Yeah, they're not very good on plans." And it's kind of like twiddling the thumbs, just waiting for the conversation to be over. I thought that was funny, but then there was also some good dramatic scenes too.
Oh gosh, yes, especially with Gamora. Yes, Gamora's making Peter
swear
to
kill her if Thanos was to ever get his hands on her.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
And I was like, that is a very dark. That's very dark, but also
it makes sense. Why would anybody make somebody do that? But you need that to happen.
It made him swear on his mother.
Yes, which is something that you would never want make somebody do unless it was absolutely necessary. So it was necessary, but sucks on both of their ends to make somebody do that.
Yeah, but the way they executed that scene was like, oh
yeah.
like Thanos had her, and he said, and then Peter Quill wanted to do it, and Thanos like forced his hand, and it was like he like do it. I'm like, Thanos really wants this to go down, and then he pulled the trigger and bubbles.
Yeah,
and then he said, Thanos was like, I like your style, and then teleported away. I'm like,
oh. Yes. In his mind, he sort of did it.
He did it, but Thanos made it not happen. So it wasn't. So it's nothing Peter could do.
Yeah, it's just,
that's a very that was a very hard scene.
It was well acted too, well executed by everybody there.
Yeah, and the way they turned Manus in the ribbon and Drax in the stone was cool too.
Yeah,
and then I thought
I thought they were dead.
Oh,
right
we're forgetting the best part about that scene.
What's that?
The fake out.
Oh yes, the fake out.
Yeah,
what she thought. I knew. I said that's not him.
It was too easy.
It was too easy. Yeah, I said that's not him. It's not him.
But then they revealed that the whole thing was fake. Even the collector in the tube.
Yeah.
I was like,
does that mean he killed the collector already? Maybe.
We don't know. Yeah. Collector may have just boogied somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then Thanos revealed that he used the reality stone to recreate the collector's office and whatnot.
That's the one thing I thought was really great was every time they would come close to getting him, he had a stone for that.
He was already one step ahead of them.
Yes, but it's because he had already taken whatever stone he needed.
Yeah, I need to be back in frame a little bit because I'm.
Yeah. Let's fix that.
Should I fix it or
is it the camera or is it just you need to be in frame?
You slide over a little bit. That might be much better move to me.
There you go. Okay. I didn't realize how off frame you were.
I was pretty off frame, you guys. Lord. Sorry about that.
Dang.
Yeah, but it's fine. My voice was the important thing there.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was very cool. The Wanda and Vision in Europe and thing, that was a cool little scene.
Yeah, I'm not buying their romance either, but I don't know, maybe it was because of how it was developed in Avengers 2, and that's when they started.
It
wasn't in Civil War.
It was
in Civil War that they started it.
It was in Civil War they started it. Civil War expanded on it, and it came to fruition in this one. And it is in the books that they fall in love like that.
I just don't know that I'm buying it, but it still was interesting as far as the story
I thought
goes.
it was interesting too, and then again another fake out.
Yeah,
like they but this is near the end of the movie. We can't go that far yet.
Yeah, not yet.
We still got to talk about how he got the Soul Stone.
The Soul Stone. Oh gosh, that was such a hard scene.
Yeah, because the way it worked, he had took Gamora back to home, and was asking her, do you know the location of the Soul Stone? And she said no. But then he showed that he had Nebula and all her cybernetics, like in an exploded view, in a room. It was like torturing Nebula because, like, even though this is all cybernetics, it's still connected to her. And they were like electrocuting her and stretching him out further. And she was like screaming and whatnot. You can see like it's tearing Gamora apart to see her sister up there like that. And then,
And one of the things about that though is that she, in most cases like this, she could have just lied and said it was just anywhere. But she knew she would never get away with it.
Yeah.
In this situation, you would never get away
and
with
especially when they revealed that since Nebula is part cybernetic, one of her eyes is like a camera, and they played back the memory of Gamora telling Nebula that I've seen the map and then I burned it.
Right.
So that means Thanos already knew. I already knew this already, so I can't lie now.
Right. Yeah. So
then they go to the planet where the Soul Stone is. And they run into Red Skull.
Yeah, that was pretty cool reveal too.
I was like, so this is where you've been this whole time? Yeah. I'm like, he's the guardian of the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's kind of a messed up fate for Red Skull. To watch people. Wow. That was a cool little twist to his character too. It's like he's like, you can see that he's downtrodden and broken now. He's like a specter now.
Yeah.
It was like cool to see him again, but it was like kind of sad to see him too, even after all he did in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing about the MCU I will give them credit for. They have villains, yes, but a lot of them have like human sides.
Right.
They're not just stamped out. They're just stamped out by the villain stamp. Even the most weaker villains still had a human side to them. Mm-hmm. Like your Darren Cross in Ant-Man. He was like so driven by business decisions, it drove him to madness to wear the Yellow Jacket suit. And then in this one, it was like he was so driven for power that by the time he got it, he was left adrift on a planet.
Mm-hmm. But just the reveal of what was needed to acquire the Soul Stone was so sad.
Yes,
I mean that was one of the best performances from
anyone
in that movie.
Because pretty much
right there,
they said that in order to acquire the Soul Stone, you have to kill someone you love.
Yeah, and then her just laughing because she believes he doesn't love anything.
He didn't love anything.
And then this is like his moment of letting her know, I love you.
I love you. I love you, but I love that Soul Stone just that little bit more. And then he chucked her into the pit.
Yes. And
it was a very hard scene to watch because Thanos started crying. And then it's like, why? It's like, he said, he said, why? He said, why is he crying? He said, those tears aren't for him.
It's for you.
They're for you. And he's like, then he just grabs her hand and just starts dragging her through the pit. And then he just chucks her in. It's like, we just watched her die. And then they cut to her body. It's like, yeah, she's dead. Yeah. And then you see him like wake up in the water. And then he opens his hand and he has the Soul Stone in it. Yeah. And then he just throws it into the gauntlet. And then he's got...
He wiped his tear and walked away.
He wiped his tear and he was like, now what's next? I need to... because he got the Soul Stone. And what stone did he get after that?
The Time Stone?
He got the Time Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was the last stone he could get. Because the other two stones were left on Earth, which was Time and...
No, Time he got on Titan.
No, Time... Yeah. He got Time on Titan, and he had to come to Earth to get Mind,
which is what he got from Spirit,
which he got from Vision.
Or Vision, I mean Vision.
Yeah.
So those are the only two he has left now.
At this point.
Yes, at this point, yes.
Yeah, because they were just about to because after he got the Soul Stone, he went back to Titan. He noticed that he could. Doctor Strange was waiting for him.
Right. No, Doctor Strange was waiting for him. And then this is whenever whatever's the Guardians, whatever's left of the Guardians right now, and Spider-Man and Iron Man.
Oh, we forgot about one scene where they bumped into each other on Ebony Maw's ship.
Oh, yes. And
they were having a Mexican standoff kind of thing because they didn't know who worked for who.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. I love that scene.
And then like Tony had Drax on the ground, and then Peter had a gun to speed Spider-Man's head. And then it said, "Where's Gamora?" And Tony's like, "Who's Gamora?" And then Drax is on the ground like, "I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?" And everybody's like, And then someone said Thanos. And said, "Do I look like I'm working for Thanos?" It's
Yeah.
and then they
realize they're all looking for the same guy.
Yeah, they're all working on the same side and whatnot. And that was a very funny scene.
Yeah, and then they all fight over who's going to come up with a plan.
And then they all argue over who's coming up with a plan. That was pretty funny.
And then meanwhile, on Earth, though, they're every Captain America and Vision and Black Widow and everybody that's left on Earth right now are all heading to Wakanda
because they want to try to find a way to remove the stone from Vision's head without killing him.
Yeah, and destroy it.
And
while
destroy
also
it.
saving his
saving him.
Yes.
So they go to Wakanda,
and they realize they have the technology to do it. It's just tedious work.
It just get that because he has like 2 trillion neurons. They have to rewire and so they can remove it without messing him up.
I liked
Shuri.
Shuri. How she makes it like oh yeah, this is very easy, and he's like, why haven't you thought about this? Like, because I haven't thought about it.
Because we didn't. Yeah, because we didn't. Like Bruce Banner's a brilliant mind on his own, but he's like, yeah, why didn't I think of that?
Technology, and their capabilities in Wakanda yet. We have not caught up to them, I guess.
And the Wakanda scene was very cool too.
Oh yes. But I just noticed that there was not there, besides the line from or what is Black Panther's name? T'Challa. Besides his line about getting him Cap his shield, he didn't really have a lot of dialogue in this movie.
Yeah, he didn't really have a lot of dialogue.
Like, I think it was because we had just had a Black Panther movie.
Yeah.
Why they didn't give him so much screen time in this.
Yeah, it was 2 months removed from his own movie.
Yeah.
So we've already spent a lot of time with, like, that's one thing about this movie. You don't have to reestablish this character.
Right. That's why it's so important that you watch all these movies kind of in sequence.
Yeah. Because by him being the last movie before this one, this felt like a continuation to his story, so we didn't really have to reintroduce his world. Right. It was just, we're going to Wakanda now. Yep. And we're just going to see the king, which was pretty funny when Rose told Bruce, you got to bow to the king, right? He said, yeah. And then he bowed and said, we don't do that here. And then he turned to Rose, like, why'd you set me up like that?
Just cracking up like that.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But then the battle on Wakanda was very well done.
So very well.
Because these, like, all of a sudden you see like these giant, like you see in the trailer, those giant pyramid things fall from space into the ground, and those creatures that are inside. Yeah, those things are like terrifying because they're mindless. Yes, they're willing to kill themselves, and they
just seem to be just keep constantly multiplying. It seemed like I was like, how in the world are they going to handle it? Yeah. But I liked how, I mean, they're doing very well on their own. But
what someone said makes something that makes sense. We can't hold them all, especially if they get around back. Yeah. So they said, we just had to keep them in front. And they said, the Black Panther said, on my signal, open the west corridor. Yeah. Northwest corridor. And he said, because it's now by giving them a hole, it forces them to funnel into us.
Yeah. And we also were introduced to the Iron Hulk. Is that what he's called?
The Hulkbuster.
Hulkbuster. That was a pretty cool suit.
Yeah, they redesigned.
So is Hulkbuster really better than him as Hulk? I mean, he has more control, obviously, as Hulkbuster than he does as the Hulk.
The Hulkbuster was the suit that Tony wore to help him fight the Hulk.
Okay. So he liked it more because he doesn't have to be Hulk and he has control over what he's doing.
Yeah,
that's more unlikely why he was he liked that so much better. But he did realize at one point he's like, okay, I really need Hulk now.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, this is fine, but I would like the Hulk to come back now. And then the Hulk flat out told him no. Twice. Yeah. Once when he was fighting on Earth in the city, and then again in Wakanda, Hulk told him no 2 times. It was like, yeah, he doesn't really want none of Thanos after what happened to him on the Asgardian ship. And I do not blame him. Yeah. He took an L. Yep. Hulk took a pretty brutal L.
Yeah. But what was the next one? But whenever when Scarlet Witch came out, and she was able to take them all out with just one.
Yeah, but then they also realized with Scarlet Witch being down there, Vision was unprotected.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why she was up there. Yeah, I thought I'm still always blanking on her name. Shuri's reaction there was like, why hasn't she been up there the whole time, or something like that. I thought that was
I thought that was pretty funny too. Yeah,
and then Thor finally comes back down to Earth.
With the Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
After having to restart a dying star, which was a cool scene too.
That was a really cool scene. Oh, and what's his face?
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
He plays a giant dwarf.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool little touch. Like, Peter Dinklage is playing a dwarf, but he's literally dwarfing Thor and everyone else.
Yeah.
But it was what happened to him was kind of sad too. He said after he built Thanos the Infinity Gauntlet, he killed everyone and cast his hands in metal so he could never make another one again.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Thor's new axe.
Well, what movie are you watching, bro? That's on the 18 plus side of things, man.
Thor's axe.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
Especially with how the handle was made.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a piece of, or part of...
Groot saw the two pieces after they were forged. He decided to take his arm, grab these two hot pieces of metal, fuse them together, and then break off his arm so Thor will have a handle.
Yeah, so this is a part. His new axe is an extension of Groot, which is pretty great.
Yes, it actually ties into the theme of working together in a way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So now, let's see. There's nothing else happening except the scene whenever they are trying to remove Thanos, the Infinity Gauntlet from Thanos's hand.
Yeah, that was a very
such an emotional scene.
Yeah, like that they got Manus on his head trying to put him to sleep. They gotta keep his mind busy.
Yeah.
You have who is it? Tony and Spider-Man pulling on his arm.
Yep.
And then where was Drax at?
Drax? What was Drax doing? I don't know.
Drax was probably holding his other arm back.
Yeah, he was holding his other arm back.
So then they were trying to all work together.
Well, Spider-Man was holding his other arm back.
So was Drax and Tony on the other side?
Were they even down there?
They were all on Titan.
So maybe they were all just grabbing his hand.
They were all grabbing parts of him so he couldn't do anything.
Yeah. So.
And then Peter comes back, and then asking questions about where's Gamora, and then Manus is looking into his mind and finds the answer that Thanos kills him, and he starts getting mad and starts beating Thanos with his gun.
That was such a hard thing to for. You would expect him to be more controlled, but at the same time, you cannot expect him to be controlled.
You just watch the scene where he just found out his girlfriend died at this man's hands.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, you'd be emotional too.
Yeah. So that was such a. I mean, he needed to be self-controlled, but he could not.
You understood why he wasn't. And then after a while, he broke out of the spell and threw everyone around, and then he teleported away. Or
nope. He's got. Well, this is whenever we go back down to Earth for some reason, because they're getting close now that what's her face is Scarlet Witch is away from Spirit. Vision. I don't know why I keep calling him Spirit.
I don't know.
Vision. They are
flanking to his position.
Yeah.
So then Vision has to protect himself now.
Yes.
Which he does a pretty good job at.
Yeah.
But then after a while, it gets quiet.
Yep.
And it is like, he's here. And like
not yet, because he still has to get the time stone.
Yeah, because he's about getting ready to kill Tony.
Yeah. He's about to kill Tony. And we also what we forgot about? We forgot the part where Doctor Strange is kind of flipping out, and they don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah, he's freaking, like he's like in a meditative trance, like you can see him like thinking about something really hard, and what comes out of it, it tells him he's looked at 14 million different possibilities.
It was like 75 plus million. It was some crazy number.
No, it was 14 million.
14?
It was 14.
I couldn't remember there was a 7 in there. Okay.
Yeah, it's like 14,700,000 possibilities.
Yeah, some crazy thing.
And then he said, and then Tony asked him, how many do we win? One.
So that number, I don't want to talk about the theory just yet. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
So just remember that part. If you there's a theory.
So then after that, Tony is like trying to fight Thanos, trying to keep his hand open so he can't do anything with his gauntlet.
Yeah.
But then after a while, Thanos gets the upper hand, and then he stabs Tony really good in the stomach.
He spears right through him.
And then Tony's about to die. And early in the movie, Doctor Strange says it becomes between the time stone and you and the kid.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
It's Spider-Man. It's the time stone every time. But then in this exact moment when it comes to fruition, he gives up the time stone.
Yeah. So
then he gives Thanos the time stone and whatnot, and then Thanos teleports away.
Yep.
And then Tony turns to him and says, "Why did you do it?"
And he said it's the only way.
He said, "It's the end game now."
Yep. Yeah, the end game now.
Yeah.
The end game now.
And so then after he gets the time stone, he goes to Earth. So then everybody who's fighting the creatures in Wakanda all converge to Vision's position to protect him. And then Thanos arrives, so they're all fighting Thanos tooth and nail, and Vision is pleading with Scarlet Witch to destroy the stone in his head.
Yes.
And she doesn't want to do it, so she finally starts to do it. And you see him see the stone breaking and cracking, and it finally blows up and destroys Vision.
Yep.
And you're like, good. Thanos can't get to it.
Nope. But he's got. As soon as I saw that, I was like, but he's got the time stone.
And then he
rewinds.
And then he rewinds it back to Vision being put back together, including the stone.
Yep.
And then crushes
Breaks
Vision's head to get the stone out. So we just watched, in the span of a few minutes, Vision died 2 horrible deaths.
Yes.
One more horrible than the last. I don't know which one was worse.
The second one seemed more permanent.
The second one was more horrible because at least the first one was his choice.
Yes. Yeah, so that was probably even more torture for Scarlet Witch.
And so then after that, he put the time stone in. Now he has all 6. You see the energy of all 6 coursing through Thanos' body.
And then, woo! Out of
the blue.
Out of the sky. Bam!
Then all of a sudden you see Thor lodge Stormbreaker into Thanos' chest.
Yeah.
And you see him digging in good. He's like, yeah, Thanos is about to die. But then Thanos said,
"You should have gone for the head.
You should have gone for the head." Bam! Snaps his fingers.
And then all dusted them all.
And then you just see a big explosion. And then Thanos is gone.
He's back at home.
He's back at home. His arm's all burnt. The gauntlet is destroyed. And then they said, what did he do? What did he do?
And he regenerate. Did he technically regenerate Gamora?
I think he's inside. I think he saw.
Or he's in the solace of his mind or something.
I think when he went back, he was inside the Soul Stone.
Ooh. Oh. Okay.
I think for that brief moment when he saw Gamora again.
Yeah.
I think that was the inside of the Soul Stone, because if you think about it, that was the first death attributed to the stone.
Makes sense.
So I'm thinking, but we won't get there yet.
Yeah, we won't.
But then after that, everybody thinks they're trying to figure out what's going on, and then you just start seeing random characters just start turning into dust. First one's Bucky. He goes, "Cap,
yes.
I don't feel so good." You just see him just dissipate the dust.
Yeah.
And then you see Falcon, and then
did Black Widow? Did she dust?
I don't think Black Widow dusted, but Falcon dusted. And then there's
Black Panther dusted.
Him turning to dust shocked me, because
I was like,
you went there with him?
Yeah.
Wow. They went for the one that cut the deepest.
Yeah.
They went for Bucky, and then back on Titan, you see Drax turn to dust, Groot turn to dust,
Peter turned to dust too.
Oh no, I was saving him.
Oh yeah, saving him.
And then all of a sudden he goes. Then Peter can turn to Tony. I don't feel so good. And he starts.
Oh, not Parker. I'm talking about Peter Quill.
Oh yeah, Peter Quill turns to dust too. Yeah. And then then all of a sudden Spider-Man goes, I don't feel so good. Said, I don't want to go, Tony. I don't want to go. And you see him slowly turning to dust. I don't want to go. And he lays down on the ground, freaking out.
Mantis too. Yeah.
And then he turns to dust. And
that was sad.
That was the one that hurt.
Choked me up. Really
that
bad.
One hurt. and then after everybody's M'Baku.
Oh yeah.
He turned to dust. Who else turned to dust?
Black Panther's sister, or T'Challa's sister.
Shuri turned to dust?
I think so.
I don't think Shuri turned to dust.
Or the bodyguard one. The one that's his bodyguard.
I don't think her turned to dust. I think some of the Dora Milaje did, but I don't think.
I think because they're the first ones to go. I just don't remember who they were.
Yeah, it was a very shocking scene.
Yeah.
And then after everybody's turning into dust, they cut the set of Thanos in some shack on a hill, looking at the sunrise with the wound in his chest healed.
Yep. And then the gauntlet's gone.
And then the gauntlet's broken. And then here's the part that really messes you up. the credits start.
Yeah, the credits start rolling, and
like this
howling.
is how it ends.
Yeah, everyone's hooting and hollering.
And everybody's like, your theater, they were like, you said they were like mad,
banging on the tables. They were so mad.
See, in my theater, it was a completely different reaction. We were stone silent.
Man.
It was like for a good 2 minutes into the credits, no one said anything.
Yeah.
And then like someone broke the tension in a hilarious way. He said, "Where's Adam Warlock?" I said, he did that on purpose to break the tension, and I thank you for it because that was funny.
Yeah.
But then the post-credit scene, you see the aftermath in a different part where you see Maria Hill and Nick Fury driving down the street, and then a car crashed in front of them, and then they go to check on the driver to see if he's all right, and he's gone. And then they see a helicopter fall out of the sky. And then they see all these things going on, and then Maria Hill turns to dust.
This is like a mix of the apocalypse and the rapture at the same time. Everybody got raptured up.
And then you see Nick Fury run to the car, and he reaches out and pulls out his device, and you see like he's turning into dust, and then he lets out his one of his classics.
Yeah, about to drop the F-bomb.
About to drop an MFer on people, but then he gets dissipated before he can finish. And then the device he has in his hand reveals to be like a special kind of beeper, and it says sending, and you don't know what he's sending. And then all of a sudden, it shows received by showing you the colors and symbol of Captain Marvel.
Yep.
End of movie.
End of movie, and then Thanos will return.
Thanos will return.
Normally, it would tell you the title.
Normally, they tell you the Avengers will return.
Yeah.
But instead, they said, no, Thanos will return. Like, because a lot of the Avengers are gone.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to figure out.
We have some theories.
And they said one theory that was really sad.
A film theory.
Oh, God.
Just a theory. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I can't do that.
You shouldn't have done that. Matt Pat's gonna be knocking on the door looking for a check now. Thanks for that. But anyway, one theory about the film was that the reason why Spider-Man was freaking out when he was turning into dust, his spider sense was going crazy. He could sense all those people dying.
Oh, wow.
So it was like
I didn't even notice that.
Well, that's why he said he wasn't feeling too well before he went.
Yeah, he's the only one that said that.
Yeah, because he was like, because he could sense that something massive was wrong.
Yeah,
but he didn't know what until it happened to him
because he couldn't see it. Yeah.
He couldn't see it, but he knew.
That's a good point. Yeah, because he was the only one that ever complained about feeling anything, but he's the only one that has spider senses.
Yeah, so he could sense all these people just.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and on a massive scale like it was.
Yeah,
because you got to remember, we saw superheroes dissipating. But the Nick Fury one showed you that regular people were disappearing too.
Right.
So it was like,
yeah. So when just a little thing happened in a town is going on, his hairs will stand up.
Yeah.
But for this, he's feeling it all over.
He's feeling it all over the earth
from another planet.
Yeah, from another planet. So it's almost like he said, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like he said, like a tree and voices in the distance suddenly silenced.
Yeah.
He could feel. He's kind of like having that moment.
That's insane. I didn't think of it at all.
Yeah,
like that until you said that.
That's why he said, "I don't want to go," because he knows people are disappearing.
Yeah,
he doesn't know where they're going, but they're not on Earth anymore.
But then to go back to did you have another one?
I think another one I had involves Avengers 4, but do you want to save that one?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, we can speculate all we want at, but for the theory that no, it's not really a theory. It's in the movie, but it's still not necessarily revealed as a total plot point. When Captain America was talking about, or had said that 14 million whatever number for chances.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange. Sorry, yeah. Doctor Strange was having going through all the futures, and he said went through like 14 million futures, and he said that's how many times they're going to lose. And then how many times do we win? He said 1. But how many times do you need to? You only need to win 1. That other number was just to scare the audience, I believe.
I think what it was, he was like looking at every single possibility.
Yeah. So that's the possibility. But you only need 1. So as long as you can execute that 1 time, because he's already been through it. Mm-hmm. He's already been through it, so he knows what it takes, what's needed to be done for that 1.
Yeah.
So. I also, and then whenever he told Captain, he told Iron
Iron
Tony
Man.
Stark or Iron Man, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call him, that if he were to give up the stone, or he wouldn't give up he'd give up him and Captain and Spider-Man for the stone.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no reason to believe that his feelings changed, especially if you know
Doctor.
There's so many heroes in this movie.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange's personality. There is no reason to believe he would have given up that stone, or given up that stone for them.
Mm-hmm.
So unless he knew something,
I'm thinking where he's living out the possibility.
yeah. So he's living out the possibility. So he's still fully in control of this situation. So he knew that he was going to go if he gave up that stone. He knew that he would be one of the guys that would go because he's been through this. So he knew to give up that stone is the only possibility for them to win this thing.
Because I'd like to think the reason why I think that's the case, because if you didn't give Thanos the stone, he would kill everybody that stood in his way, leaving no one to correct it.
Exactly. So he knew that there's still going to be some Avengers left.
Yeah.
To fight this and win this.
Yeah, so that's why he gave it up as opposed to letting it be taken and all of us die.
Yes.
It rather is half of us to be dead than all of us to be dead.
So my idea, so obviously, so now we already know, or we should know now that Doctor Strange he still knows what's going to happen. So he knows that Thanos is going to kill off half the world, or half the universe, more likely. And so he knows that's going to happen, and that's all I know so far. So we still know that all of this is part of Doctor Strange's plan, so to speak.
Vision.
His prophecy.
His prophecy, yeah.
So this is part of the prophecy for all this to happen. So I don't necessarily know how any of this can be reversed, but that's what I know so far. That doesn't even indicate that them winning means that any of them can come back.
A lot of them may not be able to come back.
Yeah,
because a lot of he could probably bring.
What I would assume, because that's all of Thanos' plan was to kill off half the world universe.
But what I'm talking about, the people who didn't die by means of the stones.
So maybe part of a winning plan means bringing everybody back.
I think you would bring back the heroes that dissipated, but like a Gamora.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't be considered winning. Because the master plan of Thanos is to kill off half the universe. That would mean Thanos won, and they lost. So, in order for his prophecy of winning to be considered a win, that would mean that pretty much most people should come back anyway. Which, not counting Avengers people. I think that that he knows that there's a way to reverse this, but you obviously would need the Avengers for this to happen. So I don't know necessarily how it would be reversed, because in my mind, this was like almost like a second Big Bang. So maybe those stones are back in places that they just need to.
Like they kind of like went back to where they were.
Maybe.
I'm thinking
that would seem like a very simple thing for it to be, though, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Or at least back to their origins, not necessarily back to where they were before with Thanos found them. Back to their original location.
I think he still has the gauntlet. I think he still has the stone.
He looked at his hand and everything was gone. Like the whole gauntlet and everything was gone.
I think he still had the gauntlet. I don't think it was destroyed. I think in order to use all the stones together, you need like a conduit, which the gauntlet was acting like.
Because it was the only thing strong enough to handle it.
Yeah, I think they need to make another one.
But whenever he was gone, like his whole armor, his gauntlet was gone when he got back to that space.
I have to probably see it again. Somehow.
Yeah.
But anyway, we won't talk about that. But this movie was really good. It was a very different turn of events here we
go. We got some comments here. You want to read that? It says Doctor Strange is dead. And
it said he still has it. It just got fried.
It just got fried. Okay, so it just got fried.
Yeah. I was figuring that. Yeah. He has it, it's just fried.
Okay. So do you have any idea what that would mean?
I'm thinking the way it works is like it's kind of like this. It's kind of the same thing like in most movies. Like you have a gun to say but like they built up the contraption and they said, but it's only good for one shot.
Right.
He used this shot with the snap.
Oh, okay.
So in order to do it again, you have to pretty much build another gun, which in this case would mean build another gauntlet.
Okay.
And then take the stones out of the fried gauntlet and put it in the new one.
Well, do you think that Thor's axe could be act as a gauntlet?
There's theories going around about him being able to probably chuck the stones in, because we did see them put us. Ronan did just take his weapon and throw a stone in it randomly.
Right.
So it wouldn't be too hard of a stretch for an Asgardian weapon to be able to hold the power of stones. Especially since it's made from the Master Forger.
Yeah, because Thor didn't go nowhere.
No, he didn't.
And what's his name? The Hulk, whatever.
Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner didn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that's as far as my idea goes, and I think that may be as far as we need, or as Marvel wants it to go.
Yeah, and plus, from what I've seen pictures from Avengers 4, the set photos, I think there's some time travel involved.
Really?
Because if I remember correctly, in some of the photos I've seen, there's pictures of Captain America in the outfit from Avengers 1.
Really? That seems like a big thing.
Yeah. Like remember how the suit looked in Avengers 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in set photos in that costume.
Mm.
So it's like, how far back in time do we go?
Yeah. But and I definitely have seen Captain Marvel on set for the Avengers 4.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen set photos of that, so she's going to show up there, and I can only assume maybe Hawkeye and Ant-Man, but really this isn't the battle that they should be fighting in the first place, because they're still just human.
There's a lot of but
I mean, so is Iron Man and technically Titus Iron Man,
and Captain America, in a way, he's kind of just human too.
Yeah,
because even though he's strong and fast, one good bullet still kills him.
This is a superhero movie, so those kind of physics don't matter.
Yeah, anyway. Those kind of things don't matter anyway. But anyway, yeah, and I'm intrigued to see where they go with this. That was a very bold choice to end this movie the way they ended it, though.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying nothing against it, but
that's the only thing, because you just, when you know the behind the scenes stuff and you know how movies are greenlit, you just know that all these guys are coming back.
Yeah, but there's one interesting movie that I'd want to see more so than Captain Marvel next year. Homecoming 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the possibility of Miles Morales, maybe.
No, they said where it takes place in the timeline.
Where's that?
They said,
after Infinity War.
Not after Infinity War. Minutes. I repeat, minutes after Avengers 4.
Oh, okay. So whatever this new universe would look like after that.
Whatever happens at the end of Avengers 4 heavily influences the beginning of the Homecoming sequel.
Yeah. So
I'm intrigued by that tremendously, because what exactly does that mean? Do we get an older Peter Parker? Has time passed more since Avengers 4? I mean, Infinity War?
Right.
Is it like what's going on with world governments in all this is going on?
And did you say that Ant-Man versus Wasp, when's that take
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
They say it takes place after Civil War, but it could be an indication that it could also be taking place during Infinity War 2, where a lot of the stuff's going on while they're in the quantum realm.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Where they're like, what I've heard, that the quantum realm is immune to the effects of the Infinity Stones.
Right. All right. Well, I think we've done spoiled this movie.
You feel free to correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but that's what I've heard.
Right.
Anyway, at least about the MCU's version of all this, but that's what I've heard. Yeah.
Well, anyways, guys, this has been our spoiler review. Obviously, well, I guess if you want a quick review here, we did our spoiler-free review where we talked about all the technical aspects that we enjoyed in this movie, all the pacing and stuff, and we rated this movie. I rated it a 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. And like I said in that video, and I will say in this video, 11 out of 10, but our scale only goes to 10.
Yes, so 10.
10.
It's a 10. It's just a really good 10.
It's a really good, really shiny 10.
Yes,
but I want an 11.
All right, guys. But what did you guys think of the Avengers Infinity War? We would love to hear what your thoughts and theories and all that stuff. This is one of the most interesting moments in
this would be a good time
superhero
to
history.
tweet to us and ask us questions about it.
Yeah,
That way,
use
direct
Twitter.
message us on Twitter about this movie.
Yeah, we get the comments and stuff to our phones and stuff, and that really helps us analytically and stuff. But I mean, like I said, just reach out to us. We're on Instagram, Twitter. We'll go ahead
reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have about this or anything else we do.
Yeah. So, anyways, whoop. There we go. My name's Zakary Cheatham. You can reach me at all of these locations here for social media.
Same here with me. You can reach me on all those down there at the bottom.
Yep, and we have links and everything too in the description.
In the description.
So
for our friend Zach too. So.
Yeah, yep, for my brother Zach. So, anyways, guys, check out our most recent Movie Champs episode, our most recent movie review, and also hit that subscribe button. And guys, we will see you next time. Bye.
Peace.